Hey guys, time to chill out with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we scaled the lighthouse of Olivine City and found ourselves Jasmine, the gym leader, who was taking care of the sick lighthouse Pokemon Ampharos. Unfortunately, it wasn't doing too well, and she asked us if we could retrieve some medicine for her from Cianwood City across the ocean. Oh, and I guess something about some fifth party member or something, like we caught a fish or something? I don't know. I can't surf here. Yep, our fifth party member, Current the Chinchou. This time, it's finally time to head to the ocean. And would you know it, it's right here. Although you can't see it from here, Cianwood is across the sea. Makes sense to me. That was what the route sign said. Have you gone to the battle tower? I think a lot of tough trainers have gathered there already. But since you have so many badges, you shouldn't do badly at all. That is something very important he's referring to. This house right here. There's a big building up ahead. What is it? If you walk inside, there's some people here. Are you going to the battle tower? There's a secret, but if you win a whole lot, you can win special gifts. What do you have to say? The levels of the Pokemon I want to use are all different. I have to go train them now. This is where things get a bit weird. This is the battle tower. This was added in Generation 2, specifically with Crystal version. It is unique to the last game, and it's a strange little place. Wow, the battle tower is huge! There must be many kinds of Pokemon in here. Yeah, that's one way to put it, bud. You can use only 3 Pokemon. It's so hard to decide which 3 should go into battle. Battle Tower here is special. It is a bunch of randomized battles against different trainers. If you've ever played the Battle Frontier or the Battle Tower in later generations, that's what this is. And yes, this was started in Generation 2. Battle Tower. Take the Ultimate Trainer Challenge. I'm not going to fixate on doing this right now. You could do that if you wanted to, but we're not at the best level for such a thing. So instead, I'm actually going to talk about this rock. Maybe Pokemon can break this. These are rocks you can break with Rock Smash. We've seen Strength Rocks, but we've seen these too, but haven't had the chance to mess with them. If you're very lucky, you can break them and Pokemon will come out from them. And depending on how lucky you are, you might get a chance to get a brand new encounter from those things. Exclusively through Rock Smashing, you can find yourself the much beloved Shuckle. Don't fuckle with Shuckle. Don't let those stats fool you. This thing is an incredibly tanky Pokemon. Terrible stats across the board, except for amazing defense. Some of the highest defenses of any Pokemon you will ever see. It cannot attack worth a damn. This thing is designed to literally do nothing but sit there and wait. It is not a Pokemon I would ever recommend for single player, but you'd be surprised how much fun it is to abuse this guy in multiplayer. Giving him things like Toxic, and I don't know if Synthesis or Ingrain was a thing for him in this gen, but sort of recovery moves while he sits there and annoys your opponent to death can be very funny. And the Rock Bug type, or Rock Grass, I think it's Rock Bug, is actually an awkward typing that makes it hard to fight him. Shuckle is not a good Pokemon for single player, but you could do worse for him for online stuff. That being said, let's surf. When you surf, you always look like a Lapras, and this is how you get around on water. Water encounters are not anything new for us right now, so we don't have anything to go over. But there are trainers in the water. You have to warm up before going into the water. That's basic. I mean, that sounds pretty normal to me, dude. Now let's tussle. Whoa. I don't know why, it always looks like the swimmer guys are just kind of freaking out. Swimmers will usually just have water types, so make of that what you will. The good news is, he's got a Tentacool. The better news is, it's a poison type and it's weak to ground type attacks. Get in there, Artemis. The bad news is it knows acid. I'd rather not trip out right now, thanks. I don't know how much damage this is going to do. Let's find out. Yeah, ground is not resisted by water, thankfully, so it's a pretty good move to have on something like an Eevee when you're fighting Tentacools. Especially since I don't have any sort of ways to deal with these things right now. Tentacool and its evolution Tentacruel are pretty good special tanks, but Mud Slap is a physical attack, so it doesn't really get a chance to deal with that. Ow. You might also want to make sure you're healed up for this, because you're going to be on the water for a little bit, so make sure you're ready with healing items. Alright, another Tentacool coming. Let's put Chinchou back in. I also don't know why. Something about Chinchou's name, I believe it's supposed to be a play on a certain phrase, but I think it sounds closer to its Japanese version name. I could be mistaken on this, but I want to say that was intentional. If someone can... Well, I guess Future Me is the one that does it. If Future Me can verify this. Something about Chinchou's name just throws me for a loop, and I don't remember if it's based off a certain type of electricity or not. We're sending an Alucard for a bit, because why not? Just confuse Ray. Sometimes just want to confuse your opponent into submission, as one is wont to do. But yeah, once we get in the water, it's mostly just heading south. There is one other thing we'll have to deal with while we're heading down there, but we should be fine for the most part otherwise. Chomp. Nice, get a flinch. Come on. Hurry up, please. One more. Wow, 3 flinches in a row. That is some crazy luck if I've ever seen any. Good job, Alucard. Okay, Uncle, I give. Good. I give me that money. And since we've been going so long, it's actually transitioned to nighttime. Hiya, it's Uncle Ralph. What do you say to a battle with me? Good, you're going to do it. I did not say that at all, but I guess Route 32 if I want to go fight you. You can't make me do it, Ralph. I don't have to listen to you. You're not my dad. But yeah, water encounters, we've seen all of them. They're just going to be tentacles. So why am I not bothering with, like, using repels or anything? Because you should never use repels. You never know when you might run into a shiny Pokemon or something. And the last thing I want to know is that you let the Pokemon get away when you could have gotten a shiny. No 8 or 2 for me. I'm hanging on to a sea Pokemon. I mean, that's technically what I'm doing, because I'm pretty sure I'm not surfing on top of a Chinchou. I'm hanging on for dear life, completely soaking all of my gear. God, I hope my backpack is waterproof. That's something that's never really established in Pokemon, is that how do you get around if you're not just sitting atop of your Pokemon? Because Chinchou is not that big. I don't know how I'm surfing on this thing. Tag out. It's not a good idea. Back to Alucard. Harden? Interesting tactic. I didn't think you would try for something like that. It is funny that, like, whenever I see CPUs using something like a Staryu, it's an excellent Pokemon, but they just never know what to do with it to use it effectively, which makes it hysterical to me. Because they could be absolutely terrifying, and then they do something like use Harden or Rapid Spin. Terrible moves that do not matter in the grand scheme of this fight. Just get out of here. Well, Shelter, though, that's a bit different. Actually, now that I think about it, this actually would be something worth using Current on. Because as I mentioned, Shelter has pretty bad special defense. But it does have decent special attack. Uh-oh. Luckily, Ice was just water for some stupid reason. It should be the other way around, but I digress. Use Surf. That is genuinely something that bothers me. Why is Ice resisted by water? That doesn't make any sense. If it gets cold enough, water will freeze and then become ice. Why does it not... Oh, whatever. Look, some things in Pokemon don't quite make much sense, like fighting being resisted by flying types. Is what I would say, except that one makes sense when you think about the concept of, have you ever tried to punch a bird? Exactly. Level up, though. Nice job, Current. Get a little bit for Alucard as well. Oh, I'm feeling dizzy. Good. But yeah, I hope you like Blue, because that's basically all we're going to be seeing for a while. This route's not super long, but there's a good amount of trainers on it, and I want to make sure we battle most of them. So we're going to be down here for quite a while. Luckily, this is at least an opportunity for the rest of the team to get up in level and get Chinchou all caught up. Another wild encounter. And it's another tentacle, of course it is. I suppose this does lead into a more interesting question that I kind of been wanted to talk about for a bit, but I haven't really had the time to do it. Hey, you're young and fit. Don't ride your Pokemon. Swim. No, I don't think so. Especially not across the ocean. But something I wanted to bring up that I find kind of interesting. Later gens sort of started this trend, and this wasn't really a thing for a long time early on. How do people feel about retiring old moves? Because Pokemon's been going on for, oh god, over 30 years. But the thing that always, like, struck me as weird, the series for the longest time kind of kept retaining either bad moves or weak moves that were outclassed by later moves. Like, say, Leech Life. A terrible move in every regard, until they randomly buffed it in Gen 7 and made it actually scary by putting it on par with things like Giga Drain. Most of the time, they don't buff moves, and they'll usually just, like, retire them if they're something that doesn't really get much use anymore. Like, say, Tackle. Tackle's not really a thing anymore. what do people feel about this? I personally think it's a good thing, but I also find it a little weird because a lot of Pokemon start out getting strong moves out the gate, which makes it feel like more of a game of tap the opponent once and they'll die, and requires less strategy in later gens. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's just how I feel. It's a weird little subject of how does a series evolve and stay relevant after 30 years of relatively the same formula. There are changes up to the formula over time, of course. There's been changes since the second generation, but I don't know. It's just something to think about. What isn't hard to think about is that drowning clams is easy. War Turtle, though, that's a bit different. We haven't really seen any of the Kanto starters around, so it's kind of interesting seeing just a War Turtle out in the wild like this. You're defensive. Let's try Stark. Ow! Bad time for that. Let's heal up. There we go. Much better. Okay, using Bubble now. Hopefully that's not too much of an issue. Okay, no, that's fine. Star Fury Cuttering. Slice. And yeah, one of the reasons as to why I made sure that Stark had False Swipe on hand, it's just a useful thing to have against something like, I don't know why my name slipped out for a second, but Chinchou. I was saying it's a useful thing to have if you want to catch a Pokemon and you want to get it as weak as possible before you throw your Pokeball at it. Because you never know, some Pokemon are just dicey about it and can be annoying to deal with to get their health low, because you don't want to accidentally knock them out. At least I hope you don't. Nice. I think you're Swimmer Randall. Uh-oh, I lost. Nice and easy. And yeah, for the most part, there's nothing else of note around here. It's almost entirely going to be just us swimming around trying to find trainers. Is what I would say, but we also just made it to Route 41, which has one brand new encounter for us. I was hoping we would encounter it right away, but guess not. It was worth a try. This being said, day and night encounters actually don't apply in this situation. For some reason, that isn't a thing on the water in Gen 2. I'm not sure why this is, but you usually don't run into any wild encounters that are different based on time of day in the water. With that said, though, there's exactly one brand new encounter you can run into in Gold and Crystal version only. Silver version does not get to benefit from this, but a bit unfortunate in that regard. The Pokemon we can get with a 10% encounter is Mantine. Mantine is a special defense beast. Look at how high that stat goes. It is a very powerful stat, and Mantine's other stats are actually not too bad. Being a water flying type means it does suffer from a quad weakness to electric, but it resists a lot of other things you might not even realize it does, and it learns some decent moves to help it out in battle as well. This is not a bad Pokemon if you want a water type, but it's more focused on being defensive than offensive, so you need to keep that in mind. I would say much else about it, but it's kind of straightforward. What you see is what you get. Though, weirdly enough, this thing got a pre-evolution in Generation 4 with Mantike. That doesn't make it better in my eyes, but it's something, I suppose. Now, Tentacruel, would you please die? I guess not. Tentacruels like this, you're actually not supposed to be able to find normally. Tentacool evolves into Tentacruel level 30. But I guess if you want to get a Tentacruel this way, you have an option for it through this method. Luckily, Tentacruel is also a kind of easy tool for experience grinding if you really want to get one that way. This is a good way to build up your team fast if you have something that does well against water or poison types. Unfortunately, Artemis is not hitting super hard because Mudslap is not a very powerful move. But we get the job done anyway. And yeah, that's not the worst you could do. Alright, what do you have to say? Oh, I'm a bit tired. If I win, lend me your Pokemon. No! Dude, just swim to shore, dipshit. Swimmer George, man, this guy's got a full team. Oh, it's a full team of tentacles. I should have known. How much damage do you do with Surf? Probably not much. But might as well see. Maybe we'll get lucky. No! Yuck! That is not a good sign. Tag out, I guess? This probably doesn't seem like a good idea otherwise. Actually, Inferno can probably do this by himself because Tentacles don't typically use water attacks. I fully thought we were about to get poisoned there as karma. Come on. Oh, so close. Okay, no poison. Good. Out of here. Nice. And we do get that level up. Nice. I've been waiting for that one for a while. You got a full team of 6. Jesus. Staryu, that's probably going to just come at us with water attacks, but not too big of a deal. Another quick attack. This is pretty much going to be one of Inferno's only opportunities to get any sort of experience. Because they're low-level Pokemon, and even if he's weak to them, he's still going to do a good bit of damage. Just kind of hoping you get a crit there, bud, but I guess we can wait for that. Ow. Get it out of here. Thank you. It is kind of weird. I have very vivid... Ooh, Remoraid, actually. Give me a second. This is a unique Pokemon in that this is one of the few Pokemon we will not be able to catch in Generation 2 if you're playing Crystal version. So, if you're looking for this thing, I hope you're not playing Crystal version. You're not going to find it. That being said, what I was trying to say was, I have sort of vivid memories of how I played through Generation 2 back in the day, because I had one very specific method of playing through Crystal version. I had my Typhlosion, and that was it. That was what I used. I very much was the kid who said, I got one Pokemon, that's all I need. And I was right, because if you have one Pokemon, you can steamroll most anything in your way. Especially if it's a fire type. Like, even water types like this did not pose a challenge because I just hit so hard, it didn't matter if I resisted. They just died. Now, Alucard, however, is now the strongest member of our team, which is kind of wild to think about. Went from being sort of the runt of the litter to being just one of our best guys right now. So proud of this guy. And it's such good flinch locks as well. He's just doing really well with that. Alright, we're almost through this guy's team, thankfully. It always is a pain in the ass to run into someone who's carrying a full team of 6, but it doesn't usually happen too often, so it's not that big of a deal. Ironically enough, Chinchou/Current, he'd actually benefit greatly from running into someone using a Corsola, because since Corsola's part Rock-type, it is neutral damage against Water-type attacks, and its defenses aren't even that good, so it wouldn't be that big of an issue for us. And yeah, Poison resists Bug. Kind of annoying in that regard, but thankfully, Fury Cutter doesn't care about that. Unless I miss, goddammit. I really shouldn't have said anything. Come on, don't start with me now, voice. Got Poison for our troubles, which is annoying, but what can you do? Well, you can constrict us, I guess. Nice. Easy. Nice and easy. Looks like one more thing to deal with, and it's one more tentacle, so let's try going back to Current. Tag out. Thunder Wave. The good news is, Current's actually relatively close to getting an electric move for himself. I believe it's only like one more level after this. Because I think it's 25 that we get sparked. Oh, god damn it. So many paralyses and poisonings everywhere. Let's try Flail. Flail does more damage the less health you have, so this will do decent damage. Not amazing, but decent. It actually gets better with us, the fact that we're getting poisoned. I just hope we can finish it off real fast. Oh, nice! Nice work, bud. Oh, god damn it. If it's one experience again, I'm gonna scream. How much? How much are you away? 14. Okay, that's much less worse. Oh, thank God. We're not doing the best in terms of health right now, but, I only have one antidote. Uh-oh. You're going on you then, I guess. I guess the rest of you are just dealing with this. Stark gets some health back. And the rest of you also could probably use a few super potions. Probably should have stocked up a bit more on supplies, and I still haven't bothered to get some stuff from the PC that Mom ordered for us, but whatever. Inferno, you really don't need anything. You're a fire type. I'm not going to use you for much here. And yeah, when you're poisoned, you'll see flashes on the screen occasionally indicating that poison is draining your health. Oh! Hi, bud. I didn't think I'd run into a Mantine out here. Nice. Once again, these things are really special defense heavy, so if you have someone who hits hard physically, you might be able to use them instead to take them out. Let's try this. Yeah, just raw bubble. If we had Spark, this would actually be no problem at all because Chinchou would blast it in one hit, maybe two. But let's try Tackle and see how much it does. Yeah, that's a lot better. Just don't hit this thing with a special attack if you don't got an electric move. It's just not worth it. Not bad. Come on, one more. Oh, so close. I suppose if I wanted to, I could catch this for the hell of it, but I'm not going to do that. 1, I already got a water type. 2, I don't need a second one. And 3, I already know for sure what our last team member is going to be, and it's not going to be you. Sorry, bud. Level up for Current. And close to a level up for Artemis. Nice. Let's head this way. One thing I should mention is that Route 41 is actually also housing something we haven't talked about. It's housing the Whirl Islands, a network of whirlpool surrounded islands that you can't really access right now because if you try and interact with them, it's a vicious whirlpool. A Pokemon may be able to pass it. Well, we sure can't. Yeah, whirlpool is something we'll be able to deal with, but we don't have the tools to do such a thing right now. This is something you'll have to come back to later. It looks like we got another swimmer girl. What do you have? Staryu. Alright, not too bad. How do you fare if I blast you with Surf? Because I'm running low on Surf PP, but I'm curious. Not bad. You're going to use Harden, which is going to raise your physical defense, but that's not going to stop me. Yeah, one more should finish you off. And Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin's really not good for you at this point of the adventure. It's a weak-ass move. That is actually a move that's better used in multiplayer because it does get rid of entry hazards like spikes. You're not really going to see anyone using that outside of the single-player campaign because no one is using that in this game. In battles with other people, maybe, but not here. Starmie? Uh-oh. Okay, you actually might be a problem because Starmie's way better. Alucard? I hope you can handle this. If not, we are in trouble. Well, it just knows Tackle. Never mind, we're fine. I keep mistaking any trainer that uses a Starmie as competent, when only Misty was the one that was smart enough to put something on this thing that was worth a damn. Get out of here. Nice. And once again, just flinch locking your opponents into submission. I really like it, Alucard. Oh, you have more energy than I do. Yeah, I do. Easy enough. And yeah, there's 4 islands, I believe, to the Whirl Islands in total. We can't really interact with any of them right now. We'll get to at some point, just not yet. Keep going. With another trainer. Thankfully, this dude's only got 2. What do you got? Oh, that's a problem. We haven't seen a Gyarados yet. This is a dangerous situation. Gyarados is hit really hard, and they're very angry. If you're playing Gen 4, this thing will also have Intimidate, making it even harder to deal with. I'm going to paralyze it immediately and then switch out to someone who can actually fight this thing. No, that's a bad idea. You're poisoned. Yeah, Artemis, you try. The good news is Gyarados does not typically have many water attacks. The bad news is it still hits hard. Tackle it with Quick Attack. Nice. Good crit. Full paralyze. That's good. A little bit more. Two fully paralyzes. Nice. Looks like my luck is happy today. Let's go. Get out of here. And another crit. Wow. You guys are really putting in work today. Level 26 for Artemis. Nice. What else you got? Second Gyarados, of course. Back to Current. It's not going to have much because it is a Gyarados, but it's a Gyarados. It's scary to fight whenever you see one pop up, so you got to be careful. If this was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, this would be a lot scarier, but... Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. Thrash is a powerful physical move. He's gonna just be doing that a couple times this turn. I don't know what to do here, so we're gonna try Alucard. Please be paralyzed. No. Oh no. Confusion? The infamous Parafusion strats? Please? Oh, come on! Really? I set up Parafusion and I get nothing for it. Useless. Let's heal for safety. The thing with Thrash is that after a few turns, the Pokemon will be confused automatically, but since I already confused it, I don't know what's going to happen. It might just keep doing it. Thank you, finally. Gyarados do have pretty high physical attack, but he didn't raise it with confusion or anything, so that's not gonna show that much on his health. Okay, he's gonna use Bite. Good. That's a lot better. Please be flinched. Nice. Flint blocks. Oh god. This is a dangerous situation, but I think we're fine. Thank you, full paralysis. Almost made me eat my words there. Get out of here. Nice. Good job, you three. I'm beat. Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, there's still a few more trainers we could deal with, but I'm trying my best to avoid confrontation right now because we're just not in the good situation for that sort of thing. I guess I can take one more on before things get really dicey, but try not to get into too many bad situations. Hi, Tentacruel. You are so close to the level I want you to be at, Current, but just not yet. Uh-oh. Don't do it. Oh, God. No, that's bad. Tag out. Don't you be supersonicking me. Get out of here. We need to heal. I suppose this is at least something interesting, is that the rare case of me being on the back foot. I'm usually just kind of bulldogging my way through most of our problems, but we actually have stuff to worry about here, so kind of got to be a little bit more careful. Yeah, I think this is fine. One more trainer. The weather's so beautiful. I'm in a daze. That's not a good thing. You should see someone for that. Swimmer Denise. What do you got? A seal! Okay, that's different. We haven't actually seen a seal yet. I don't believe you're part ice type. I believe your evolution is, so I don't have to worry about anything like that. Let's just paralyze you. Growl! Oh, you jerk. Well, this is my last surf. Let's see how much it does. Not much. That was paltry. Headbutt. Ow. Flail, maybe? Not good. That's really bad, actually. Oh, no. Shit. What do I do here? If you're just gonna headbutt, actually, Inferno can handle you. Okay, yep, that's a donk. But that's not too bad. Just tackle it. Fully paralyzed. Nice. Once again, paralysis is always a nice thing to have. And you're done. Get out of here. Quick attack. Nice and easy. There you are. Level 25 for Current, which means it can learn Spark. 65 base power, if I remember correctly, and a powerful electric move for us. Get rid of Supersonic, dude. You don't need that anymore. Current learns Spark. Now we finally have a good answer to water types. Oh, get out of here. We're gonna try and make our way towards land as quickly as possible now, because at this point, we don't need anything else here. We're good. That being said, I will demonstrate Spark real fast. Spark. Electrocute yourself and ram into the opponent. Simple, but effective. And way stronger than anything else we had. And paralysis chance. Nice. Right out the gate with that. What is with my luck with this game? I'm quite happy with that for the most part. Luck has betrayed me a couple times, but so far it hasn't led me astray too badly. Get out of here. Because now Current can take care of herself just fine. Alright, we got a spinner. I'm not going to deal with them. We'll probably come back and like breeze by these trainers off screen for some free experience grinding. But I don't want to fixate on them too hard because the main objective was just getting to Cianwood. And getting Current caught up with the rest of the team, which mission successful in that regard. So that's nice. Oh my god. Oh. You really shouldn't have done that, bud. Here's what happens when you put electricity against a quad times weakness. Again, Mantine has a super beefy special defense stat, but that did a lot. Get out of here. Nice work. And Mantines give a good amount of experience as well, so they're very good grinding materials. Looks like we got another spinner. We managed to avoid her. Nice. Phew. And just in time, too. We make it to Cianwood. Phew. Actually made it in one piece. And Stark's doing pretty alright. I thought the poison would be more of a problem, but it only goes down 1 tick per bit. So we're kind of fine. Welcome to Cianwood City. 500 years of tradition. Cianwood City Pharmacy. We await your medicinal queries. This is the place that we wanted to go to. Your Pokemon appear to be fine. Is something worrying you? The lighthouse Pokemon is in trouble. I got it. This ought to do the trick. And he gives you the secret potion. My secret potion is a tad too strong. I only offer it in emergency. This is the guy to go to heal up Ampharos at the lighthouse. Otherwise, we have actually already taken care of that story objective. We just gotta head back and give it to Jasmine. So let's heal up. And maybe we'll call it a night here. There is, however, the Cianwood City Gym that we should be getting ready to challenge shortly. Thank you for waiting. Your Pokemon are fully healed. We hope to see you again. What do you got to say, bud? Pokemon gym trainers here are macho bullies. If I stick around, they might come after me. Here's some advice. The gym leader uses the fighting type, so you can confound him with psychic Pokemon. Wipe out his Pokemon before they can use their physical strength. And those boulders in the middle of the gym? If you don't move them correctly, you won't reach the gym leader. If you get stuck, go outside. Yeah, that's actually the guy who normally gives you the Champ of the Macon speech. He doesn't really hang out Cianwood City Gym because they're kind of jerks. Cianwood City, a port surrounded by rough seas. They weren't that rough to get here, but there was definitely a lot of hassle. If you use Fly, you can get back to Olivine instantly. That is actually something we haven't seen yet. We haven't encountered anyone with Fly, or a chance to get it ourselves. Boulders to the north of town could be crushed. They may be hiding something. Your Pokemon could use Rock Smash to break them. That is true, but I don't have anything with Rock Smash on me, so I don't think we'll be doing that anytime soon. But yeah, there is one of the rocks right now, and what are you? Cianwood City Photo Studio. Right, that thing. That's gonna be a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things that we can actually talk about here, but I think for the most part, we're just gonna call it a session. So I think next time on Let's Play Pokemon Crystal, we're gonna see what there is to do around Cianwood City aside from the secret potion shop, and maybe get ourselves ready to take on Cianwood City Gym. I'm not sure if that's going to happen for certain, but we will look into it. Till next time, ice out.